Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? So welcome to our graduates and your family and friends. Thank you all for being here today as we celebrate you, the class of 2024. Yeah. This has been a difficult year in the world and on college campuses, but armed with knowledge and purpose, you give us hope for a brighter future. Your Leonard Davis School degrees have prepared you to improve the lives of older adults, to appreciate and build upon the contributions of prior generations, and to contribute to better health and well-being for everyone. With over 200 graduates representing many states and countries, you are our largest graduating class ever. And I've had the pleasure of saying that sentence every year, and I hope to continue saying it a few more years from now. Whether you earned a bachelor's degree, a master's, or a PhD, in choosing the USC Leonard Davis School, you invested in more than just a degree. You committed to making life better for people of all ages, and I know that you will continue our school's tradition of service, innovation, and success. As a group, you embodied the future of a field that is full of promise. I believe the next decade will see us turn back our biological clocks, prevent, cure, and delay diseases, and live fuller, healthier lives. And I'm counting on each and every one of you to get us there. Working across disparate fields, you will be the leaders who see it, that the foods we eat, the homes and communities we live in, the care we receive and provide, the services we provide, and the technologies we develop, and the policies we promote all come together to build a new way to age. Our distinguished faculty have taught you to advance discoveries in disease prevention, health promotion, and to advocate for age-friendly policies and services, and to work towards a more just and equitable society. And speaking about our faculty, let's give them a hand for all the wonderful work they've done. Yes, and to the administrative and student services staff that's always been there for you, let's give them a hand as well. Thank you. Imparting their lessons will become your legacy, and I look forward to living in the future you create for all of us. Thank you for all the parents. Let's hear it for the parents. And all the family members and friends who are here today for supporting our graduates. Let's have a hand for that. Thank you again for being here. So, congratulations, and keep on fighting on. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the president of the Students of Gerontology Association, Aaliyah Thomas, who will be delivering a commencement address on behalf of our undergraduate students. Thank you, Aaliyah.
Hello, everyone. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty, proud parents, and most importantly, the resilient graduating class of 2024. I also want to extend a heartfelt welcome to all those who have supported us on this journey. You know who you are. As we gather here today, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge all the amazing work and dedication that we've given to this one-of-a-kind field, which has empowered us to form interpersonal relationships and use our knowledge and passion for human life to make a tangible impact. As future gerontologists, we have chosen a field that embodies critical thinking, compassion, and hard work. That said, we have learned to adapt on multiple occasions. COVID-19 played a significant part in our college experience, casting doubts and fears, disrupting the normalcy we once took for granted. We faced remote learning, isolation from friends, missed opportunities, a constant feeling of uncertainty, and for some of us, a high school graduation on Zoom. Despite these challenges, we emerged stronger, more empathetic, and more determined than ever before. If anyone deserves a certificate for mastering the art of Zoom etiquette, I'm pretty sure we've all earned it by now. On this academic journey, we have each had to face our own set of unique obstacles, from navigating part-time jobs, internships, and extracurricular activities, to grappling with personal responsibilities and familial obligations. Some of us have had to overcome language barriers or adapt to new cultural environments, while others have silently struggled with their mental health and demanding coursework. Despite these adversities, we have all managed to preserve and live up to the Trojan name. As this chapter comes to a close, it seems like everyone is asking this profound question: what's next? I'd like to answer this with some wise words from Maya Angelou. Angelou once said, "What is the fear of living? It's being preeminently afraid of dying. It's not doing what you came here to do out of timidity and spinelessness. This antidote is to take full responsibility for yourself, for the time you take up and the space you occupy. If you don't know what you're here to do, then just do some good." In honor of Angelou, I'd like to leave you all with a message on resilience. In the face of fear and uncertainty, resist the urge to succumb to timidity. Instead, embrace these challenges as opportunities for growth and transformation. Do not let the fear of failure or of the unknown hold you back from pursuing your dreams and aspirations. You've already conquered the difficult parts. You've taken responsibility for yourselves, made the necessary sacrifices to achieve your goals, and dedicated countless late nights to studying. Now the world awaits your greatness. Go forth and make a difference. Congratulations, class of 2024. Now I'd like to introduce my classmate, Orly Bellman, to the stage.
Dean Cohen, distinguished faculty, friends, family, and fellow graduates, it is an honor to be speaking to you today as a class of 2024 master's degree graduate. As a group, we represent 10 different programs, all focused on essential aspects of living and aging well. Whether our educations emphasized aging services, senior living, healthcare, technology, nutrition, or the biological, psychological, or social dimensions of aging, I have no doubt that each of us found inspiration from our incomparable faculty and insightful peers. As we move on from here to make an impact in our respective areas, I hope we can continue to be inspired by the ideals of the USC Leonard Davis School, which I believe are symbolized in the signature arches that make up the perimeter of our school's building. Arches are curved symmetrical structures spanning an opening and typically supporting the weight of a bridge, roof, or wall above it. These iconic structures stand as testaments to human ingenuity and resilience, traits that are essential for us in creating and implementing the societal innovations that will lead to longer, healthier lives. Arches provide support, something we as gerontologists seek to do, and something we as students have generously received from so many of you here today. Arches, like gerontologists, are well-rounded, and like our interdisciplinary field, it can be said they are ahead of the curve. They represent openness, reminders to embrace new ideas, seek different perspectives, and cherish the richness that comes from engaging with people of all ages and from all walks of life. A key to an arch's effectiveness is its flexibility. So remember, we can often achieve more when we are willing to bend or veer from the path that is straightest. In our careers and in our lives, may the arc of our own journeys be guided by courage, compassion, and curiosity. And let us not forget that arches are also passageways, that our school is surrounded by them, illustrates the many directions we can now choose to go. As we transition from being students to practitioners, our school's arches are a gateway to new beginnings and to endless possibilities. Let's make the most of them. Congratulations and fight on. And now I'd like to welcome my classmate and PhD graduate, Jillian Fennell.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am deeply honored to stand before you today as a newly minted Doctor of Gerontology. As many of the As many of the graduates can attest, part of being a gerontologist is frequently having to define and redefine the word for curious loved ones and strangers, the study of aging in older adults. Just last week, I spoke to someone who found our dear discipline, quote, niche, but I fervently disagree. While our individual research topics may be quite specific, the gerontology and biology of aging PhD graduates will all walk out today carrying one of two degrees. Degrees earned through investigations of chronic kidney disease and markers of biological aging, through analyses of qualitative interviews with family caregivers and older sexual minorities, through examinations of inflammation, neurocognitive health, and age-related changes in RNA transcription, and through assessments of payment structures for joint replacement surgeries, all of which with the same unified mission to understand and improve the experience of aging. The Leonard Davis School houses an interdisciplinary patchwork of experts in biology, public health, economics, policy, sociology, and psychology. When you look at the breadth and importance of the work being celebrated today, I think you would agree that these two disciplines are anything but niche. We stand as the next generation of advocates for older people and their families on the cutting edge of aging research, policy reform, and the development of products and services designed to improve the lives of older consumers. It is a privilege to grow older, and we have the power, as card-carrying gerontologists, to make that sentiment truer for more people. So, my fellow graduates, I hope you take as much pride as I do in introducing the field of gerontology to the world, one stranger at a time. Indulge their curiosities, help them try on the lenses through which we gerontologists view the world. Our collective futures will be brighter for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaliyah, Orly, and Jillian. Let's hear one more round of applause for our speakers. Now it's time to recognize our graduates. By the authority vested in me by the USC Board of Trustees and President, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree or certificate for which you have been recommended by the faculty, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. As evidence of these degrees and certificates, I shall direct that an appropriate diploma of the University of Southern California be presented to each of you, signed by its officers and embossed with the seal of the University of Southern California. Congratulations, class of 2024. Fight on.
Bachelor of Science in Human Development and Aging, Brianna Belmonte. Caitlin Chen. James Chilingarian. Jason Cho. Andrew A. Arejan. Ethan Chandler Lamb. Jae Yun Hyuk Lee. Richard Lee. Layla Mursafian. Muiz Mukri. Zaki Mukri. Julia Olvera Ryan. Maria Elena Orlov. Jewel Park. Saya Sharma. Sarah Wu. Natalie Felikian. Riley Gould. Aaliyah Chanel Thomas. Bachelor of Science in Lifespan Health. Amir Muayed Abu Lashin. Christina Alvisurez. Hannah Mackay. Isabel Allerton. Kamaria Richardson. Crystal Tai. Graduate Certificate in Gerontology. Vasilisa Buinaya. Master of Arts in Aging Services Management. Feng Zi Ding. 新预告。蒙西海。宣玉晃。一个劲。윤耀磊。郝真理。七七力。金汤。郝正兔。袁兴旺。天浩 Johnny Wu。金文旭。金思旭。纪耀阳。苗张。Master of Science in Applied Technology and Aging. Doris Redman. Master of Arts in Senior Living Hospitality. Muk-Yuen Chung. Hao Sun. Tyler Mead. Yifan Mo. Master of Arts in Medical Gerontology. Shiva Hajati. Nadia Khan. Kevin Lee. Alexis Osato Hamwen Omoregie. Liliana Ruvalcaba. Elizabeth Mariana Foster Tovar. Courtney Williams. Master of Arts in Gerontology, Marisela Anderson. Orly Bellman. Day Amoy. James Cordenbrock Jr. Jia Yin Lee. Tanapat Taravej. Chen Ru Liao. Jia Cheng Sui. Master of Science in Gerontology, Marikar Sarah Borja. Xue Wen Chen. Yun Xin Diao. Lynn Gael Demond. Simran Kaur Gill. Ding Xin Hu. Junlong Dom Feng. Chunya Belinda Kang. Cheng Huang. Jessica Jacobo Lopez. Bo Young Dana Kim. He Ju Kong. Ting Bing Kong. Shirley Lim. Yutong Lee. Noemi Luvianos. Shuhuai Lu. Muzi Lillian Wang. Xingyu Xia. Yueran Yu. Zhou Yongzheng. Yuan Zhuang. Master of Arts in Food Service, Management, and Dietetics. Xiaohang Huang. Yuxin Mu. Natalia Raji. Yitong Zhao. Master of Science in Lifespan, Nutrition, and Dietetics. Eli Cruz Rodriguez. Xingyu Xie. Annie Mei Ling Liu. Lauren Schmeiss. Zhuo Wei Xing. Jingyi Yang. Master of Science in Nutritional Science. Xinbo Du. Lindsay Epi Frost. Leticia Nunez. Caitlin Yao. Master of Science in Nutrition, Health Span, and Longevity. Brooke Aaron. Lota Andonian. Kirsten Burns. Caroline Kyling Chun. Tiffany Chu. Shayna Feinerman.
Denicia Soretta Fernandez.
Adriana Kwok. Eileen Lai. Sophia Alexandra Olivier Laird. Miji Lee. Madison Oakman. Daniel Rahman. Virginia Salas. Regina Taifi. McKenna Erin Vargas. Christine Wong. Pablo Yuste Nam. Shifra Zuckerman. Yanyi Lee. Doctor of Philosophy in Biology of Aging.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Tara Mastro, and I coordinate the honors program for the undergraduates. I'd like to take a minute to acknowledge the hard work of our graduating honors program students. So would Maria Orloff and Saya Sharma please stand up so we can acknowledge you?
So I'd like to ask all of the graduating GemSTEM scholars to please stand up. So it is my absolute pleasure to present these outstanding young scholars to you today. These phenomenal undergrads, in addition to achieving their degrees, dedicated themselves to the thrill of scientific discovery by participating in research in a gerontology lab. Some of them had their research published already. Many of them have won top prizes, some at the University Symposium for Creative and Scholarly Work. We have a Fulbright Scholar, and we have a Discovery Scholar, which is the highest recognition USC gives to a student doing research.
These young scholars are going into careers in research, they're starting medical school in the fall, and they're joining the scientific workforce. We are so proud of you all and so excited to see all that you will accomplish. Please join me in applauding these amazing young scholars. Congrats, GemSTEMers.
Okay, so now is the time we're going to recognize our doctoral candidates. This is truly a tremendous accomplishment that these 12 scholars have made it through independent and novel research over the past 5 to 6 years. Each of their research contributions have advanced our knowledge and understanding of the world around us. This qualified them for the attainment of a PhD. That pomp and circumstance that you saw as we walked in today, as we processed onto the stage, actually has a deeper meaning because each of our faculty is wearing very distinct caps, gowns, hoods, and regalia. The word academia actually has roots in ancient Greece. The academia was a place. It was an ancient school of philosophy that was started by Plato and was attended by the likes of Aristotle. The school was located just outside of Athens and was dedicated to the goddess Athena, the goddess of wisdom. Today, though, the word academia is associated with those who respond to this higher call of education and research, a call that each of you has answered today. The significance of the hood that we wear actually dates back into even more ancient times. Celtic groups of druids and priests would wear capes and hoods that symbolized higher intelligence and superiority. Just as it was then, these caps and gowns and hoods that we wear now are symbols of achievement. The colors that each of our doctoral hoods have meaning in their own right. The two colors that you'll see in each one of the hoods it reflects the subject matter that was studied. So for example, dark blue is Doctor of Philosophy, green would be for medicine, purple would be for law. And the second color reflects the institution that confers the degree. And then lastly, there's a narrative from medieval times that describes the nature of the 3 chevrons that you'll see on every PhD robe. As legend has it, those 3 stripes stand for the 3 pillars of doctoral scholarship: academic curiosity, academic honesty, and academic courage. So the 12 scholars receiving their doctoral hoods today, they join the ranks of academics around the world. Each of them has persevered, having to perform new research to advance their knowledge. Each of them has published their research in a peer-reviewed journal that had to stand up to the highest scrutiny. They've presented their research findings at national and international conferences, and all of them have really helped us to understand the complex challenges that face an aging population. So it's important to remember that the academy that you now join, it doesn't have walls, there's no boundaries, and it's not specific to any geographic location. Today, each one of our PhDs joins us in this worldwide community of scholars that's dedicated to this pursuit of truth and knowledge through research. A little while ago, you answered that call to pursue higher education, and today the faculty of the Leonard Davis School of Gerontology at the University of Southern California congratulate you on your achievements of the rank of Doctor of Philosophy, and we welcome you as equal colleagues. Although in a few moments you're going to hear about each of the incredible research accomplishments of each PhD program, I'd like you all to join me in congratulating all of these PhD scholars. Okay, so our first set of graduates, they come from our Biology of Aging PhD program. So a little over a decade ago, the leadership of the School of Gerontology and the Buck Institute in Novato, California, we established the first PhD in the world that focused specifically on the biology of aging. The Buck was actually the perfect partner to do this endeavor with, because we had a really deeply rooted relationship with them for over 30 years that included a lot of shared experiences. In fact, University professor Caleb Finch and Dean Emeritus Ed Schneider were among the expert panel of gerontologists that helped conceive the idea of the Buck Institute. And Dean Emeritus Schneider was actually the CEO for a little while the campus was being constructed. So over the past decade, this program has sent graduates to postdoctoral fellowships in academia all over the world, and many of them have taken up industry positions where they continue to advance the study of aging. These remarkable graduates have studied all facets of biology, from biochemistry, molecular biology, cell biology, and neuroscience, all with the goal of understanding the biological basis of the aging process we all go through. It's really been a pleasure to watch these trainees succeed, and I look forward to seeing what they do in the future. And with that, I'm going to introduce Berenice Benayoun, who will hood our first scholar.
Doctor of Philosophy in Biology of Aging, Juan Bravo.
So, Juan was the first PhD student to join my lab when I started here 7 years ago. And really, his time as a PhD student has been characterized by his fearlessness, fearlessness to join a new lab, fearlessness to work on a topic that a lot of people shy from because it's complicated, and fearlessness to develop completely new methods to study that topic. He has had a big interest in a class of selfish genetic elements called transposons. You might have heard them designated as jumping genes, which get deregulated with age and might actually create a lot of the problems we see, a lot of the cellular damage. Juan has also done work to understand how those elements can potentially drive aspects of aging. He's been recognized by a training grant slot, an NSF GFRP fellowship, and also other awards. He is on a stellar trajectory, and I have no doubt that you will hear from him in the coming years. I am honored and proud to have served as his PhD mentor.
Kirsten Chu.
I'm Dr. Newman. I'm a geriatrician and gerontologist based at the Buck Institute for Research on Aging, and it's been my pleasure to mentor Kirsten Chu in her studies of how acute and chronic inflammation can help to cause complex, devastating geriatric syndromes, including the condition delirium, also known as acute brain failure. Kirsten is a graduate of UC Berkeley. She's a first-generation college graduate, an immigrant, and also the first scientist in her family. And what a talented scientist she has developed into. Kirsten is incredibly creative, hardworking, and indomitable in her scientific spirit. Kirsten came to the lab with a background in neuroscience and added to this the skills in aging biology, in geriatric medicine, and AI that she would need to ask innovative, important new questions. When she found that she didn't have all the tools that she needed to answer those questions, she made them. And she was never satisfied with just developing one answer, one thing that has never been known before, but she kept asking more and more important questions and answering them too. As a result, Kirsten accomplished a truly impressive translational set of research projects spanning from basic science of how metabolism and inflammation interact in mouse models to applied gerontology clinical studies in human cohorts. Kirsten's work has helped to bring therapies for the devastating condition delirium closer to reality. Congratulations, Kirsten, and well done.
Noah Simon.
So it's my pleasure to introduce Noah Simon. Noah did his PhD with Rachel Brem, who was at the Buck Institute, and then moved to UC Berkeley. I'm not Rachel Brem, but I'm happy to read something on her behalf for Noah. So Noah's thesis work focused on a little studied mouse species from the Philippines. In one project, he analyzed the way that neurons grow cellular projections to connect to one another. Noah found that those neurons from Philippine mice grow longer projections than neurons from all other mouse species, even when those neurons are derived from stem cells in a dish rather than the mouse body themselves. Separately, Noah studied the stem cells themselves, finding that those stem cells from Philippine mice have really jacked up abilities to make protein machines relative to stem cells from other mice. For the future, Noah is looking ahead to a rewarding career in bioinformatics in the biotech industry after graduation. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Simon. So it's now my pleasure to introduce Professor Mairead Jacobson, who's the chair of the multidisciplinary PhD program.
Thank you, and good afternoon. I have the pleasure of introducing our PhD program before the presentation and hooding of the candidates for the PhD in gerontology. So the PhD in gerontology program began more than 3 decades ago. It was the first doctoral degree program in gerontology in the world. It has since grown to have both a national and international reputation as the preeminent institution for advanced training in gerontology. Our students and faculty engage in innovative, multidisciplinary work at the forefront of aging research. Aging is a complex phenomenon that presents a set of unique opportunities and challenges for individuals and societies. As such, aging research requires complementary training across many fields, and all the gerontology PhD students take core courses in psychology, sociology, biology, and the policy of aging. With expertise in specific aspects of aging, research design, and the theoretical and methodological approaches of these different disciplines, our students complete their PhD training with the unique ability to incorporate multidisciplinary thinking and models in research on aging. They are trained to be leaders in aging research. Today, you will see the excellence of our PhD training in the breadth of research topics of our newly minted PhDs and their many notable accomplishments during their time here at USC. Now I'd like to welcome my colleague Jennifer Alshire, who will be introducing our first PhD recipient.
Doctor of Philosophy in Gerontology, Jillian Fennell.
So Jillian came to USC with a singular focus that I have rarely seen in a PhD student. She knew that she wanted to do research on pain in order to better understand its origins and impacts on people as they age. so that one day we might find better approaches to manage pain. Jillian, you worked so hard, and I know your path through the PhD program has not always been the easiest, but I'm really in awe of everything that you've accomplished. You learned how to harness data and statistical methods to do important work on your topic. You published papers, did conference presentations, and most impressively formed collaborations with students, postdocs, and faculty all over the world, and all on your own. Jillian's efforts culminated in her dissertation, Estimating Survival in the Face of Pain, Evidence from the Health and Retirement Study. Jillian, I will miss your smile and your smarts, but I'm so excited we were able to play even some small part in launching you into what I know will be a very successful and impressive career in gerontology. Jillian, after graduating, she's accepted a postdoctoral research position in the Rheumatology Research Training Program at Boston University. I'd like to just tell you to enjoy your last sunny days in Los Angeles. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Fennell.
Nare Kim.
So Nare came to our PhD program in the fall of 2019. Almost as soon as she arrived, she told me that she had a little one named Isom, but somewhat concerningly to me that her husband had to go back to South Korea to help run the family business. I was more than a little worried that taking care of a baby by herself and completing a PhD would be impossible. But really, I was thinking about what I would be able to do, not Nare. Not only did she complete her PhD coursework and write an excellent dissertation on the impact of Medicare alternative payment models, but she took wonderful care of Isom and did all of these with dedication and grace. Nare leaves our program with multiple first authored publications and more under review. She secured a coveted research job in South Korea, where she can continue her research career and be close to her family. And she leaves USC with an adorable, bilingual, dual citizen of the US and South Korea. Congratulations, Nare. You are amazing, and we'll miss you.
Susanna Mage.
Hello, I'm Kate Wilbur, and it's my privilege to hood Susie Mage. So let me just tell you, Susie got here kind of on an unusual path. She got a master's in environmental science from Brown. She was working in the private sector in Manhattan, and she was called upon to be the primary caregiver for a family member with a terminal illness. And Susie rose to the challenge, and it got her very impassioned about caregiving and caregiving research. She applied for and was accepted into our program. She worked with the Family Caregiver Resource Center, a nationally recognized program with Donna Benton, doing evaluation. She excelled in her coursework. And then she did a dissertation focusing on kind of an underserved area of caregiving, which is financial security. One thing that many of Susie's friends don't know is that she loves grant writing. And so we let her indulge that passion by helping us with a grant for the National Center of Economic and Work Security for Caregivers. We got the grant, and we started in March, and so Susie is going to start working for us with that program in this summer. So we're really pleased and proud of Susie.
Michaela Singleton.
Good afternoon. My name is Susan Ingidnos, and I have had the absolute pleasure to serve as mentor and advisor for Mikai Singleton. Mikai came to USC, talk about directed, but she came to do one thing, and she came to fill a huge research gap. And that gap was in the research on sexual minorities and end-of-life care decisions and preferences. Since arriving at USC, she has made huge inroads at filling that gap. She has published 5 peer-reviewed journal articles for us first author, and she has at least 4, maybe I might be a little off, that are in the works or in the pipes. She's presented her research at numerous conferences across the country and has been invited to be a speaker at several workshops and classes and meetings. She received a prestigious dissertation award from the National Institutes of Health and was a recipient of a USC Mentor Teaching Award. But Mikai's best qualities can't be found on her resume or her CV. She is dedicated, driven, determined. She is thoughtful, compassionate, considerate, and best of all, she is an incredible colleague. I have no doubt that Mikai will continue to be successful in her research and her academic career as she moves on to her postdoc position at Rutgers. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Singleton.
Xiao Wu.
He's very nervous. My name is Eileen Crimmins. I'm here to hood Chow, among others. Chow has been a wonderful asset to our program. He came to us with a degree in public policy, and he's now leaving us to take a postdoctoral position at Max Planck Institute in Germany, which is one of the premier research institutes in the world. So we're very proud of that accomplishment. While he was here, he published a lot of papers. He's one of the COVID babies, as we call them, people who had to live through that period, but he made the best of it. He published one of the first really reliable and valid estimates of the prevalence of long COVID in the United States, and he published it in a very prestigious journal. He published several other papers on COVID, and then he sort of returned to what he used to be doing before that, and he's published some very interesting work on the complexity of change in cardiovascular risk factors in the United States. And most recently, he has developed a very unique measurement of cellular senescence and done analysis of that in the American older population. His work is truly path-breaking, and he's moving on to a career that I'm sure will be equally as productive. With us, he was a star in many ways. He had the biggest smile in the building all the time. He was the best graphic artist in the building and made our slides all more modern than they used to be. He was a joy to have around, and he made very good use of the pandemic. He married his partner, Zoe, and they have a lovely little 2-year-old daughter, Becky. So he really made a lot of the last few years here. So congratulations, Chow. We will miss you.
Erfei Zhao.
Whoa. All right. Okay. I get to do this again because I had a twosome here, which was the great Arfei and Chao twosome, who just before I talk about Arfei alone, I want to say the two of them taught a class in global health this year in the Gerontology Center, which was one of the favorite classes that students took. So that was a wonderful contribution to their to the education of our students, and it was a wonderful demonstration of the kind of knowledge they have. So now, Arfei came to us with a master's from Columbia and in social work, and he's now leaving us to go on a postdoctoral appointment at Tufts University in Boston to the Department of Nutrition, which is clearly the most renowned place in the world to study nutrition. So Arfei has a wonderful career in front of him, moving on from what he's done here to what he's going to do at Tufts. He has numerous accomplishments. He also has multiple papers on COVID, on media trust, risk-related behaviors, things that were very important at that time. He published them in a very timely way when people wanted to know those things about what was going on in the world and how it could be changed. He's added to the literature on biodemography. He has written papers on the differences in aging between men and women. He has produced work documenting how and why it is that centenarians live so much longer than everybody else. And much of his work has been on the importance of changing kidney function with aging. And he's worked on that in both the US and in China. Now, Arfei has a lot of other skills in addition to the academic ones that have made him a very special member of our group. When he applied and when he came, he noted that he was an avid dancer. And when he... Are these some of the people that used to call you Grandpa? Okay. When he joined USC, he was, I guess, the only graduate student in some of the dance groups at USC, and they called him Grandpa, so that must be them. I think, were you 24 or 25 at that time? So, of course, the pandemic changed some of those things. And one of the nice things I want to say about Arfei is he went back to China for a few months during the pandemic, but we never stopped, our group, for never a week. Arfei was on the Zoom in the middle of the night, and one of the very cute things was that Arfei's mother would often be in the background. Arfei's mother got up to accompany him on the Zoom. And I think that reminds us that every student has family, has parents, may have significant others, and they are so important in even getting these very accomplished people to the end of the line. So congratulations to Arfei, and I look forward to meeting your mom in person.
Okay, so our last three PhDs that'll be hooded today come from joint programs. And what that means is, the study of gerontology is incredibly complex. And as such, it really requires a multidisciplinary approach. And so the Leonard Davis School of Gerontology is the oldest institution to study all aspects of aging, from sociology through biology. But all of our faculty hold joint appointments in other schools or departments. And all of our faculty are integral components of their doctoral training programs as well. And so today we're going to honor 3 more PhDs whose home department is outside of the School of Gerontology, but they performed all of their PhD training and doctoral work within our school.
Doctor of Philosophy in Molecular Biology, Melanie Flores.
So I had the pleasure of having Melanie in my lab. Melanie came to us from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and she became passionate about pursuing a career in science, and more specifically in cancer research, after her mother was diagnosed with breast cancer when she was in high school. After she came to get a PhD at USC in molecular biology, she joined our lab, and in addition to her research work, she served as an executive leader position in both the Graduate Student Association Women in Molecular Biology, as well as the Molecular Biology DEI Committee. Her research focused on identifying mitochondrial factors that contribute to cancer progression. She discovered a novel microprotein that she named SCREAM that is uniquely mutated in several cancers, including breast, prostate, and kidney neoplasms. And she showed that this peptide accelerates the growth of tumors. Thus, she identified a novel target for intervention that can be inhibited to arrest the progression of the disease. After graduating from USC, she plans to pursue a career in the biotech industry and hopes to continue researching cancer therapeutics. Now, congratulations.
Anna Silverstein.
So Anna also is getting her PhD in molecular biology. She came to USC from the University of Washington. In addition to her scientific work, she also served in the leadership of Women in Molecular Biology. After rotating in our lab, Anna came to me at the end of 2019 and declared that she believes that immunity and inflammation are fundamental issues related to human health and aging, and that infectious viral diseases are going to play a critical role in the future of geroscience. I was skeptical, but struck by Anna's focus and abilities, I naturally accepted her to our lab. A few months later, the world changed, and boy, was I wrong. Anna worked on a number of projects, including understanding the effects of COVID on mitochondria, and she also discovered a completely new microprotein that she named MASL. This peptide has important roles in inflammation as well as obesity among people in the Arabian Peninsula, and will potentially serve as a new treatment for diseases of aging. After graduating from USC, Anna plans to pursue a career in science policy where she intends to leverage findings from big data to tackle emerging challenges in human health. Congratulations, Anna. Mazel tov.
Doctor of Philosophy in Population, Health, and Place, Rachel Zoe Wilkie.
As you just heard, Rachel's receiving her PhD in the program in Population, Health, and Place, but we're recognizing her today in the School of Gerontology for her many contributions to our community and to scholarship on population aging. Before coming to USC, Rachel received her medical degree from the University of Dundee in Scotland, which makes me realize maybe we should have been calling you Dr. Wilkie all along. She then went all the way around to the world, to Australia, to get a master's in global health. Upon coming to USC, she sought me out as an advisor, so that we could work together on many wonderful projects, mostly involving frailty and aging. And Rachel has formed one of my most favorite student-faculty collabs. She brought her knowledge of frailty to my research on people with dementia and the people who care for them, to build a measure of frailty that could be used to study this in people with dementia who had previously mostly been excluded from that research. Her dissertation, entitled Global Inequalities in Aging and Health, Life Course Disadvantage and Place, showcases her ability to work with complex data, sophisticated analytic methods, and questions around health inequalities across populations and places. Rachel, it's been a pleasure to work with you. You're smart, funny, creative, and hardworking, and all of these qualities will serve you well in a career in research. After graduating, Rachel will be returning home to Scotland, where she will be starting a research position at the University of St. Andrews. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Wilkie. Next, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Tuck Finch, to present the Osterberg Award.
Wait for Dr. Singleton to get closer. Here she comes. So it's my honor this year to give the Osterberg Prize for the best doctoral work in the area of social sciences and gerontology. Heinz Osterberg was, for 30 years, ran my research group, and he personally taught more than 50 grad students, postdocs, and undergrads the laboratory bench skills, which go far beyond the technical information in papers. And when he died, I helped get some money to give endowment for the Osterberg Prize. And he was, as much as he was focused on the molecular biology and biochemistry, he had a keen awareness of the importance of human diversity and outcomes of aging. And I think it's extremely appropriate that Dr. Singleton received the prize, Osterberg Prize, this cycle. The next cycle will be biology areas. And Heinz, I'm sure, would have loved to meet you. So it's my pleasure here to, I think we get photographed. Yeah.
Congratulations. And I have the pleasure of bestowing some additional awards for outstanding students now that were generously endowed by the Davis Foundation. Starting with the Undergraduate Student Award that this year goes to Maria Orloff. Let me add that these prizes come with a generous check as well. The Master Student Award this year goes to Regina Taffy. Next, the Doctoral Student Award goes to Cassandra McGill. Congratulations, Cassie. Next, the Dean's Affiliated Doctoral Award goes to Jang-Woon Min. The Teaching Assistant Award this year goes to Jillian Fennell. And finally, the students get to vote on the Faculty Best Teacher Award. And this year, it's being given to Tara Mastro. We're almost done. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And I'm so grateful that this year's ceremony went so well. So as a final gesture, I'm calling on all the graduates to stand. And to move their tassel from right to left. Let's give them one more round of applause. And also a round of applause to all the family, parents, and friends. And fight on. And you're now free to move back quietly and have a wonderful career and life ahead of you.